if they went to a church or if they didn't go to a church, is important stuff. Also, be very succinct. You don't have to share your whole life story. Just pick some anecdotes and details, and you'll be able to achieve that Oprah effect, which is that your experience will represent the experience of others. So, what we are trying to do, though, is not tell the personal story just because we're all so fabulous and fascinating, which we are, I know. But what we're trying to do is to tell that personal story in order to be clear about the change we want to see. What?
My pocket keeps singing.
All right, that's all right. And so we're trying to tie that to a change we want to see made. All right. Now, you also don't have to share everything, okay? So you don't have to get too personal. And it's okay to get emotional. I mean, I think that there's a lot of power in emotion, a lot of power speaking from the heart, but we don't have to go up there and just, weep buckets of tears, okay? So know what your boundaries are, know what your triggers are. So do your research, stick to the facts, try to stick to what you know. This one is really important to use LGBT affirming language. Steer clear of using the opponent's messages. Don't go up there and say, well, they think that this is going to allow us to use their bathrooms, or this is going to allow men to use women's bathrooms. Don't say that. That repeats their message. George Lakoff, this really brilliant communications expert, don't think of the elephant. So everybody thinks of the elephant. Why even mention that? Don't give them that ground. It's like why those myth and facts fact sheets don't work anymore, because you put the myths out there and that's what people see, and they don't remember your facts, your counterpoint. So don't give them that credibility. And then here's some others that you can look at. Does anybody want to have any comments or feedback on those? Okay, great. So personal story. There's three parts that we want to hit when we're getting our messages down. One is a personal story, an anecdote or a detail. Two is an affirmative statement that has the call for the change that you hope to see and how that connects to the values that we share. And three is any kind of supporting facts or data. For example, we shouldn't stand in the way of caring, committed Nevada couples who want to make a lifelong promise to take care of each other. Or hardworking, high-performing employees shouldn't be fired just because they're gay or transgender. During this tough economic time, Nevada businesses are at a disadvantage recruiting the best and brightest employees when many surrounding states have. Perfect. Good job, you guys. When they have employment, when other states have employment protections. Another message that what if your driver's license didn't accurately reflect who you are? Imagine the confusion, heartache, and worry that would bring in doing everyday activities, from shopping to boarding a plane. Some Nevada citizens have to deal with this every day. This is wrong. Gay and lesbian couples should have the same hopes, dreams, and share Nevada values, contribute to our community. Domestic partnerships are a way for a couple to have that same security, particularly during the most difficult times. These are just ideas of messages that are affirming, that put out their core beliefs, core values that'll help to move hearts and minds. One Nevada message is right here. So it starts off, this is who I am. Not really me, I'm not a construction worker, but this person is telling their story. This is who I am. I believe Nevadans should do this, should have this. But, however, here's the factual statement. In Nevada, we could be fired. And state employees who have worked hard and earned those benefits don't enjoy those rights. So it's, the personal statement, I believe, your value, and then statement of fact. So again, the personal story as a you know, and then here's what I believe, and here's some supporting data or facts. So when you're doing those talking points in your story, try to get feedback from people that you know or trust, and practice delivering those talking points. We're going to end up with this, dealing with difficult situations. Now, the Eagle Forum has been out there, really, you know, mainly on the ERA stuff. You know, it looks like women are the new gays now. I mean, they were really out there. You know, their bonnets were in a beehive. They were really upset. And they could be, you know that they, you know, be coming out here at this date. We're not sure. We just need to be ready. You know, just be prepared for any kind of situation. So how do you deal with anti-gay protesters? How have you done it in the past? We've all confronted them. What did you do? Yeah.
Walk by and wave.
There you go.
Just move on with your day.
Yeah, and what's your name?
Mel.
Mel, good job. It's great. Walk by and wave and smile. It totally disarms them. Yep, thank you. Anybody else have other experiences or ways? I think that'll bring us to the point now where Michael can then kind of bring us up to speed about issues that are taking place today in Carson City.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I'm just going to go through some of the key pieces of legislation. It's not all of the legislation because there's literally, you know, you could probably make an argument of at least 100 bills that will in some way impact our community. There's everything from education, healthcare issues, women's issues, and frankly all of them are important to us, but we're just going to focus on a few that are extra specific to our community. First one would be Assembly Bill 184. And what this is the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, or an addition to the Employment Non-Discrimination Act. And that's the one that was passed 10 years ago, but it only included sexual orientation. So it leaves out the T in the LGBT. And so this bill seeks to add gender identity and expression. And this was introduced by Assemblyman Aisley. And basically, you know, as these bills move through, they need to go into their respective committees. They need to be voted out of their committee. They need to be voted on by that entire House, in this case, the Assembly. Then it would move to the Senate, and the whole process starts all over again. This week is rather special. It's a deadline week. So on Friday, that's the last day that if a bill is not out of its committee, it won't be considered further. So this bill needs to be passed out of that committee. Then we're okay. Next week they can pass it out of the Assembly. It's been stalled a little bit, and it's been stalled largely because a lot of legislators don't understand the issue. Like Bob was saying earlier, frankly, some of those legislators, when we had the hearings and the testimony that people gave on these bills, they were meeting people for the very first time. The stories were great, like how James was saying, that those personal stories and those personal testimonies really helped because everyone threw out facts, everyone said their organizations, we're here with, you know, we're here with PLAN, we're here with Nevada Women's Lobby, we're here with ACLU, we support this, you know, this many people are impacted by this bill. But in terms of what you hear from this, what the legislators talk about is, oh, do you remember the young lady who had the story about being fired? Or the one young woman whose partner died and she wasn't allowed to see her in the hospital? So that's what those legislators took away from that.